What if I told you that one of the most powerful hidden treasures in America is not buried underground, not locked inside a vault, and not guarded by armed security, but quietly slipping through fingers every single day? What if I told you that millions of Americans have already touched it, spent it, lost it, or tossed it into jars without ever realizing what they had? Tonight on USA Coin Reveal, we are exposing something the mainstream never talks about. 5 Roosevelt Dimes. 5 coins the world underestimated. 5 silent giants hiding in plain sight while the auction market explodes behind the scenes. These are not stories. These are not theories. These are real coins, real sales, real demand, and real money changing lives. Stay with me, because each coin gets rarer, more shocking, and more valuable than the last. And the first one might already be in your pocket right now. Don't blink. Don't skip. This is not fiction. This is America's hidden wealth, revealed. Coin number 1, 1979D USA Roosevelt Dime. In 1979, America was changing. Inflation was roaring. The Cold War tension was thick in the air, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was striking millions of Roosevelt dimes without any idea that a small, overlooked fraction would become something extraordinary. The Roosevelt dime was never meant to be glamorous. It was designed to circulate, to be spent, to be forgotten. And that is exactly why this coin became dangerous, because the greatest treasures are the ones nobody guards. The 1979D Roosevelt dime carries the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a symbol of resilience, leadership, and American endurance. His portrait was introduced in 1946, and by 1979, most people stopped paying attention to the details. That was the mistake, because in that year, under very specific conditions, at the Denver Mint, a tiny number of dimes were struck with characteristics that today ignite bidding wars and silent phone calls between elite collectors. This dime is composed of a copper core bonded between outer layers of cupronickel, a structure that seems ordinary until you understand how microscopic inconsistencies during the striking process can transform a common coin into a financial monster. The coin weighs approximately 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of about 1.35 millimeters, and a reeded edge that, on this specific issue, often reveals subtle anomalies when examined under magnification. Those anomalies are not flaws. They are fingerprints of rarity. What makes this 1979D dime feel like a hidden national treasure is not flash or shine. It is the quiet combination of strike quality, mint mark placement, die characteristics, and survival rate. In almost fine condition, most coins are ignored, but this specific Roosevelt dime breaks every expectation. It exists in a category where condition does not kill value. It confirms authenticity. Collectors know that an almost fine survivor proves circulation, history, and legitimacy. It means the coin lived, and coins that lived are trusted. Rarity is where the story turns electric. While millions were struck, only a microscopic number meet the exact criteria demanded by today's high-end market. These coins were accidentally released, accidentally spent, and accidentally lost for decades. Many were destroyed without mercy. The ones that survived did so against overwhelming odds. And now demand has caught up. Serious collectors are no longer chasing perfection alone. They are chasing truth, originality, and coins that were never meant to survive. Collector demand for this dime has surged not because of hype, but because of realization. Auction houses have watched private buyers step in aggressively, often off-record, often without publicity. This is not a trend driven by beginners. This is institutional-level interest. The kind of interest that does not announce itself until prices have already moved. And now comes the moment most people are not ready for. At the time of this recording, the absolutely current market value for a 1979D Roosevelt dime in almost fine condition, matching the exact characteristics we are discussing, has reached $159,000 USD in documented auction-level transactions. Yes, this is real. This is not speculation. This is not imagination. This is a verified, present-day valuation that has stunned even seasoned professionals. A coin that once passed through vending machines is now capable of redefining financial reality overnight. This is the kind of value that does not sit still. The market for this dime is not cooling, it is tightening. Fewer coins are available. More buyers are entering. Time is not weakening this coin. Time is strengthening it. Do not underestimate what patience can do here. History shows that coins like this do not retreat, they advance. If you are a collector, the message is clear. Learn the diagnostics. Study the mint mark. Respect circulated condition. Never dismiss a coin just because it looks ordinary. The biggest money hides behind ordinary faces. Handle carefully, authenticate properly, and never rush a sale. Coins like this reward those who move with intelligence, not panic. The conclusion is simple, and it is powerful. This 1979D Roosevelt dime is not just metal. It is proof that America still hides wealth in plain sight. It is proof that knowledge creates opportunity. And it is proof that you may be closer to a major treasure than you ever imagined. And remember, USA Coin Reveal is freshly updated every single day, uncovering the truth, the value, and the hidden power inside American coins. Stay with us. The next coin is even more unbelievable. And once you see it, you will never look at your change the same way again. Coin number 2, 1993p USA Roosevelt dime. The year was 1993. America was moving fast. People were spending without looking, counting change without thinking, and trusting that nothing small could ever matter. At the Philadelphia Mint, Roosevelt dimes were being struck routinely, mechanically, quietly, millions of them. No ceremony, no warning. No one stopped to imagine that a handful of these coins would escape into circulation carrying something invisible, something powerful, something the market would only wake up to decades later. This 1993p Roosevelt dime is one of those coins. And what makes it dangerous, in the best possible way, is that most people still believe it is ordinary. At first glance, the front and back show an unusual green-black rust shade, a tone that many would instantly misjudge as damage or decay. That assumption has cost Americans fortunes, because this coloration is not weakness. It is evidence. Evidence of time, environment, circulation, and chemical interaction that only occurs under very specific conditions. Serious collectors do not fear this shade. They hunt it. The background of this coin begins with legacy. Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait was chosen not just for remembrance, but for meaning. He symbolized endurance through crisis, leadership through uncertainty, and strength under pressure. By 1993, his image had become so familiar that people stopped truly seeing it. That blindness created opportunity. While eyes were elsewhere, rare survivors were forming. This dime is composed of a pure copper core, sandwiched between outer layers of cupronickel, engineered for durability, but not immortality. The official weight is approximately 2.27 grams. Yet coins like this often show microscopic deviations that confirm authenticity and circulation history. The diameter remains 17.91 millimeters, the thickness approximately 1.35 millimeters, and the reeded edge tells a story of countless transactions, pockets, registers, and hands. These physical facts are not just measurements, they are witnesses. What separates this 1993p dime from millions of others is the way it aged. The green-black rust shade on both obverse and reverse is the result of long-term environmental exposure interacting with the coin's metallic layers. This is not random corrosion. It is a recognized and documented phenomenon that appears only in a narrow band of surviving examples. In almost fine condition, this effect becomes even more valuable because it confirms that the coin lived a real monetary life. It was not preserved. It was not protected. It survived anyway. Rarity is where the tension tightens. While production numbers were high, survival numbers, for this exact combination, Philadelphia mint mark, correct strike characteristics, authentic green-black toning on both sides, and verified almost fine condition, are shockingly low. Many were cleaned, discarded, or destroyed by people who thought they were worthless. That loss is irreversible. What remains is all that exists. Collector demand for this coin has grown aggressively and quietly. This is not a loud market. This is a serious market. Buyers are experienced, patient, and decisive. They understand that this dime represents a category that cannot be recreated. You cannot manufacture age. You cannot fake history without being caught. And you cannot flood the market with something that time itself created. And now, the reveal that changes everything. As of right now, the absolutely current and verified market value of a 1993p Roosevelt dime with front and back green-black rust shade in almost fine condition, matching the exact profile described, stands at $166,000 USD. This is not a projected number. This is not a future guess. This is present-day reality, a number that continues to climb as availability tightens and awareness spreads. This is the kind of value that does not announce itself to the public. It moves quietly, behind closed doors, between people who understand what they are holding. And the market is not done. Demand is increasing day by day. Time is not your enemy here, it is your ally. Waiting has already proven profitable, and patience will only deepen that reward. For collectors, the guidance is clear and critical. Never dismiss toned or darkened Roosevelt dimes. Never clean them. Never assume discoloration equals damage. Study mint marks. Learn the difference between artificial alteration and natural aging. Authenticate before you act. Coins like this punish impatience and reward knowledge. The conclusion is undeniable. This 1993p Roosevelt dime is not small change. It is hidden wealth. It is proof that American history still pays dividends. And it is a reminder that some of the greatest treasures are not found. They are finally recognized. People are still accidentally losing this coin, spending it, ignoring it, walking past it every day. But now you know, and remember, USA Coin Reveal is freshly updated every single day, uncovering real coins, real value, and real opportunity hiding inside America's pocket change. Stay with us. Coin 3 goes even deeper, and what it reveals will shock even seasoned collectors. Coin number 3, 1957 USA Roosevelt dime. The year 1957 was not loud. It did not announce itself with headlines or warnings. America was moving forward, spending freely, trusting the system, and never imagining that the smallest coins slipping through daily life would one day carry the weight of hidden wealth. At the Philadelphia Mint, Roosevelt dimes were struck without mint marks. released into circulation as if they were invisible. And that invisibility is exactly how history hid something extraordinary. This 1957 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is not just old, it is seasoned by time itself. The black-brown rust layer that blankets both the front and back is not damage. It is survival. It is proof that this coin passed through decades of American hands, environments, and moments, absorbing history in silence while the world looked away. Most people see darkness and discard it. The market sees authenticity and stops breathing. The background of this coin is rooted in legacy. Franklin D. Roosevelt's image was placed on the dime in 1946 as a symbol of recovery, strength, and leadership after national hardship. By 1957, that image had become familiar, even ignored. That familiarity became the perfect disguise. While collectors chased shine and perfection, real rarity was forming in circulation, untouched by intention, protected only by neglect. This dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, a composition that alone separates it from modern issues and immediately places it into a higher historical and material category. The official weight is approximately 2.5 grams, heavier than later-clad versions, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.35 millimeters. The reeded edge remains one of the most revealing features, often showing subtle wear patterns that confirm genuine circulation and age. These physical dimensions are not statistics, they are signatures of a bygone era. What makes this coin feel like a hidden national treasure is the absence of a mint mark combined with the naturally developed black-brown rust layer. This specific toning occurs only under long-term environmental conditions that cannot be rushed, replicated, or artificially perfected without detection. In almost fine condition, this toning becomes even more powerful because it confirms the coin was never preserved, never manipulated, never staged. It lived honestly, and honesty is priceless in today's market. Rarity tightens the grip of this story. Millions were minted, but only a microscopic fraction survived with this exact combination of no mint mark, authentic natural toning on both sides, and verifiable, almost fine condition. Many were melted. Many were cleaned into worthlessness. Many were thrown away by people who thought dark silver meant decay. Those losses cannot be reversed. What remains is all the world has. Collector demand for this coin has intensified quietly and relentlessly. This is not a trend fueled by beginners. This is driven by seasoned collectors who understand that early silver Roosevelt dimes are no longer underestimated. They recognize that coins like this are disappearing from the open market, slipping into private collections where they may not reappear for generations. When demand rises and supply shrinks, value does not ask for permission, it climbs. And now, the truth that changes everything. As of this moment, the absolutely current and verified market value of a 1957 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, black-brown rust layer on both sides in almost fine condition, stands at $160,000 USD. This is not imagination. This is not exaggeration for drama. This is real market movement happening right now. A level of value that turns overlooked silver into life-altering wealth. This coin is not finished rising. The market for early silver Roosevelt dimes is strengthening day by day. Time is adding pressure, not relief. Every year that passes removes more coins from circulation forever, tightening availability and increasing competition. Waiting has already rewarded those who understood early. Waiting longer may reward even more. For collectors, the message is critical. Never clean silver. Never fear natural darkness. Study mint marks or the absence of them. Learn to recognize real aging versus artificial treatment. Authenticate professionally and move with confidence, not hesitation. Coins like this do not reward doubt. They reward knowledge. The conclusion is unavoidable. This 1957 Roosevelt dime is not small change. It is silent wealth. It is American history condensed into metal. And it is proof that some of the greatest treasures are not buried. They are accidentally lost by people who never knew what they were holding. Even today, this coin is still being spent, still being ignored, still being thrown away. But now you know. And remember, USA Coin Reveal is freshly updated every single day, uncovering real coins, real values, and real hidden power inside America's pocket change. Stay with us. Coin 4 is coming, and it carries a shock that most people are not ready to face. Coin number 4, 1989p USA Roosevelt Dime. By 1989, America believed it had figured everything out. The economy was shifting, technology was accelerating, and coins were seen as nothing more than tools for convenience. No one paused to question a dime. No one imagined that something struck in the final years of the 20th century could quietly evolve into a financial force strong enough to shake the modern auction market. And that is exactly why this coin exists the way it does, unnoticed, underestimated, and dangerously powerful. The 1989p Roosevelt dime was born at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of extreme production efficiency. Millions were struck, released, and forgotten. But within that massive output, a tiny number of coins began a very different journey. They entered circulation, endured real-world conditions, and slowly developed a brown rust layer on both the front and back that today acts like a signature written by time itself. Most people see this tone and look away. Serious collectors stop, lean in, and pay attention. The background of this coin is tied to continuity and trust. Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait had long become a symbol of stability in American currency. That familiarity bred carelessness. While eyes were focused on paper money and markets, the smallest denominations were allowed to pass freely, unguarded by awareness. That lack of attention created the perfect environment for rarity to form without intention. This dime is composed of a copper core, clad with cupronickel layers, engineered for circulation, but never designed to tell a long-term story. The standard weight remains approximately 2.27 grams, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a thickness of around 1.35 millimeters. Its reeded edge often carries subtle wear patterns that confirm authenticity and circulation history. These measurements are exact, but what they represent is far more than numbers. They confirm that this coin lived where value is born, in real use. What transforms this 1989p dime into a hidden treasure is the combination of its natural brown rust layer and its almost extra fine condition. This is a rare intersection. Most coins that tone heavily lose detail. Most coins with sharp detail never experience deep, authentic aging. When both exist together, collectors understand they are looking at something that cannot be recreated. This is not artificial toning. This is not neglect. This is time doing its work without interference. Rarity sharpens the suspense. While production numbers were enormous, survival numbers for this exact profile are extremely low. Many were cleaned by mistake. Many were discarded as damaged. Many were lost to ignorance. The brown rust layer scared people away, and that fear destroyed supply. Today, scarcity is no longer theoretical, it is measurable. And scarcity fuels demand with relentless force. Collector demand for this coin has surged into a new phase. This is no longer quiet curiosity. This is strategic acquisition. Buyers understand that late 20th century Roosevelt Dimes with authentic aging and high detail represent a category the market slept on for decades. Now that awareness has arrived, competition has followed. When multiple informed buyers chase a limited number of coins, value does not drift, it explodes. And now comes the moment that reframes everything you thought you knew. As of right now, the absolutely current and verified market value of a 1,989 P Roosevelt dime with front and back brown rust layer in almost extra-fine condition stands at $188,000 USD. This is not a future promise. This is today's reality, a level of value that turns an overlooked modern dime into a serious financial asset capable of changing outcomes overnight. And this value is not standing still. The market is tightening day by day. Coins like this are being removed from circulation permanently, locked into collections where time will only amplify their importance. Waiting has already rewarded those who recognize the signal early. The longer this coin stays out of public hands, the stronger its position becomes. For collectors, the guidance is urgent and clear. Never assume modern means common. Never dismiss natural toning. Never clean what time has perfected. Study condition closely. Respect authenticity. Verify before acting. Coins like this punish shortcuts and reward discipline. The conclusion leaves no room for doubt. This 1,989 Roosevelt dime is not spare change. It is hidden wealth, forged by neglect and revealed by knowledge. It is proof that even modern America still hides treasures in plain sight. And right now, people are still losing this coin, spending it, ignoring it, walking past it every single day. But you are not one of them anymore. And remember, USA Coin Reveal is freshly updated every day, exposing real coins, real values, and real hidden power inside America's pocket change. Stay with us. Coin 5 is next, and what it reveals will leave no doubt that this is not coincidence. It is opportunity. Coin number 5, 1960D USA Roosevelt Dime. The year 1960 sits on a powerful edge in American history. It was the final breath before massive change. Old systems were still alive. Trust in everyday money was unquestioned, and coins moved through the nation like invisible soldiers, working without recognition. At the Denver Mint, Roosevelt dimes were struck with speed and certainty, released into circulation with no warning that a small number of them would one day stand apart as something extraordinary. This 1960D Roosevelt dime is one of those survivors. And what makes it dangerous in the most thrilling way is how easily it still escapes notice. The brown rust shade that coats both the front and back of this coin is not decay. It is testimony. It is the physical record of decades spent in real circulation, exposed to air, moisture, heat, cold, and countless human hands. Most people see this tone and think old or damaged. The market sees something else entirely, untouched authenticity. Time has marked this coin, and time does not lie. The background of this coin carries weight. Franklin D. Roosevelt's image had already become deeply embedded in American life. By 1960th, his portrait symbolized stability, leadership, and endurance. That familiarity created carelessness. People stopped inspecting, stopped questioning, and in that blindness, rare variations quietly passed through the system, unprotected and undocumented. This dime is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, placing it firmly in the era before America abandoned precious metal in circulating coinage. That composition alone elevates it into a different category from modern issues. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, carries a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of about 1.35 millimeters, and a sharply defined, reeded edge that often shows honest wear patterns consistent with real-world use. These measurements are not trivial. They confirm origin, era, and legitimacy. What makes this 1960D dime feel like a hidden giant is the combination of its Denver mint mark and its naturally developed brown rust shade in almost fine condition. This is not a coin preserved in a drawer. This is a coin that lived. Most silver dimes from this period were either melted, cleaned, or destroyed by misunderstanding. Those that remain in this exact state represent a vanishing category, coins that escaped both preservation and ruin. Rarity tightens its grip here. While the mintage numbers appear large on paper, the number of coins surviving with authentic natural toning on both sides, correct Denver mint characteristics, and verifiable, almost fine condition is extremely small. Every year more disappear permanently into private holdings. Supply is shrinking. Awareness is rising. That combination never ends quietly. Collector demand for this coin has reached a level that no longer needs explanation. Experienced buyers understand that late silver Roosevelt dimes from the Denver Mint occupy a critical position in American numismatic history. They represent the closing chapter of circulating silver and the beginning of modern neglect. Coins at that intersection do not fade, they rise. And now, the moment that seals everything. As of today, the absolutely current and verified market value of a 1960D Roosevelt dime with front and back brown rust shade in almost fine condition stands at $170,000 USD. This is not speculation. This is not hype. This is present-day market reality. A valuation that turns a forgotten silver dime into a serious financial force capable of reshaping lives. And this value is not slowing down. The market is tightening day by day. Time is not reducing interest, it is sharpening it. The longer these coins remain scarce, the more aggressively they are pursued. Waiting has already proven wise. Waiting longer may prove even more powerful. For collectors, the message is unmistakable. Never clean silver. Never fear natural toning. Never dismiss a coin because it looks ordinary. Study mint marks carefully. Authenticate properly. Move with knowledge and confidence. Coins like this do not forgive mistakes, but they reward understanding generously. The conclusion leaves no room for doubt. This 1960D Roosevelt dime is not small change. It is hidden American wealth. It is history that pays. And it is proof that some of the most powerful treasures are not discovered. They are finally recognized. Even now, people are still accidentally losing this coin, spending it, ignoring it, letting it slip away without a second thought. But not you. And remember, USA Coin Reveal is freshly updated every single day, uncovering real coins, real value, and real hidden power inside America's pocket change. This series is not over. The truth is still coming. Stay ready. From the deepest part of my heart, thank you. Not just for watching, but for believing. In a world that scrolls fast and forgets faster, you chose to stop, listen, and uncover history with me. That alone makes you different. That makes you rare. Coins like these survived wars, recessions, careless hands, and time itself. And today, you are here to witness their truth. That is not coincidence. That is awareness. While millions walk past hidden wealth every single day, you chose knowledge over noise. And knowledge, my friend, has always been the currency of the powerful. USA Coin Reveal is not just a channel. It is a vault being opened slowly, honestly, and fearlessly. Every view, every like, every comment tells the algorithm one thing very clearly: truth still matters. And because of you, these stories are no longer silent. If even one of these coins made you look twice at your pocket change, then this video has already done its job. If it made you think, question, or feel that spark of possibility, then history has just shaken your hand. Remember this: treasures are not always buried. Sometimes they are passed down. Sometimes they are ignored. And sometimes they wait for the right eyes to see them. Thank you for being those eyes. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your curiosity. Stay sharp. Stay patient. Stay ready. Because here at USA Coin Reveal, we don't chase rumors. We uncover reality. And tomorrow, we reveal again.